5 to 6. Oh. My muscles slowly relax and go further back, and then a couple of pulses, then I reach a threshold, and then come back up. Back in my regular gym today. So today I want to do a little bit more mobility focused stuff. Tomorrow is jiu-jitsu class, so I thought it'd probably be a good idea to loosen up my joints a little, do some mobility things, and yeah, also it's been a while since I've done a very mobility focused day, so today is as good as a day as any. So similar to what I've been doing over the past couple of workouts, I'm going to superset the mobility move with sled. So I'll do a mobility move and then just push the sled back and forth. In any case, starting off with the more difficult and heavy exercises. So doing Zercher Jefferson curls. So going to get the bar into Zercher position. And then do a Jefferson curl. So 5 to 6. Oh. Difficult but effective movement for spine and posterior chain mobility. After that, just going to do backwards and forward sled. So that's this. Not going too heavy or anything like that. Just trying to do something to keep my heart rate high so that I still get like a cardiovascular element instead of resting too long. Also, with the sled, as you're moving backwards and forwards, your knee gets conditioned to being in the knee over toe position. So it's a mobility exercise in itself for the knees. And also I make sure to use my toes for the entirety of the set. So getting some feet mobility as well. So yeah, starting off with this for 5 sets, and then on to something else. For the next mobility exercise, going to do single kettlebell Cossack squats. So cleaning the weight up and keeping my feet wide apart, and then going to squat into one leg. Doing 5 on each side. And using a 35-pound kettlebell. Really good for groin mobility. And especially, at least what I've noticed, is having good groin mobility translates a lot into jiu-jitsu because you're in closed guard very often, and that stresses out the adductors quite a bit. And so having good mobility in the hips, especially in the adductor area, tends to be translate well into jiu-jitsu. Good mobility in general translates well into jiu-jitsu. Oh, and then, as usual, finishing off with reverse and forward sled, keeping the heart rate up, but not going too heavy. My legs, my whole body is pretty exhausted from yesterday. So after I was done with the video yesterday, I did 30 laps of swimming. Uh, I don't remember the exact distance, but I think it was like 800 meters or something like that. So that's like half a mile, which isn't too short of a distance as far as swimming is considered. I'm probably going to be done with the sled after this and just focus exclusively on mobility after. But yeah, this is what's going on for now. 5 sets, then on to something else. For the next mobility superset, doing cable good mornings to start. So this is probably my favorite posterior or just mobility exercise in general. Like, it seems to stretch out the most number of muscles. Or I don't know if that's exactly true, but it just gives me the biggest stretch and release among any mobility exercise. So keeping the feet wide apart and letting the cable pull me forward. And then as I go down, I also tuck in my stomach a little, which allows my body to sink down a little further. And then keep letting the cable pull me till we hit some sort of stretch threshold. And then come up. And then each time I try to either meet the same threshold or try to stretch a little beyond that. Oh. I'm opting to keep my hands a little bent and my back a little contracted as opposed to my hands outstretched this time, because I kind of want so at least what I've noticed is when I let my arms kind of relax, it misplaces my right shoulder because of some imbalance that's there in a way that I don't want it to be, and it kind of like stretches me all weird. And so by keeping my back kind of contracted, I'm able to not have that feeling. Going for 5 to oh. So yeah, along with the Jefferson curls that I did in the beginning, quite a bit of posterior chain mobility today. Then supersetting that ATG split squats. So now targeting quad and hip flexor mobility. So the front quad going through full knee bend. So here I get knee and quad mobility, and the back leg I make sure the toe is pushing into the ground, which exaggerates the stretch in the hip flexor. And then I also have my chest facing up and out. Going for 5 of this. Switching sides. So yeah, this is what I'm doing for mobility for now. Probably gonna do one more mobility thing. So yeah, that's probably what's up next. For the final mobility exercise, doing band assisted reverse Nordics. So I can do reverse Nordics, but it feels like my quad mobility is much greater than my tibialis mobility. And so when I do reverse Nordics, I often feel like my ankles don't feel as mobile as they're supposed to. And so by doing assisted Nordics, it feels like I'm able to introduce my ankles to that range of motion more safely so that they can catch up to the quad's mobility level. In any case, looks like this, keeping the resistance band kind of in Zercher position, more on the forearms than actual Zercher, and then going to lean back and essentially try to fall back and try to let my muscles slowly relax and go further back, and then a couple of pulses when I reach a threshold, and then come back up. Also, another thing that I've noticed is my mobility on this can vary quite a bit from day to day, and also quite a bit on the same day, if that makes sense. So, like when I was doing, or just before I did the ATG split squats, for whatever reason, my quads felt super mobile. But then after that, I think they might have just gotten exhausted a little, and so it's like uh, there's at least, I don't know, my body seems a little bit more weary of doing regular Nordics, and so opted to do the assisted version instead. Ah, going for about 5 to 6. More so going by feel and seeing how my body feels at the end of each rep. And then each time being super aware of how all the muscles in my body feel. I'm trying to consciously relax the tight ones. Ooh. And then taking some time to shake things out on top before I go into another rep. And one more. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the workout with this. Actually I might do some abs, but I don't know if I'll record it. But let's see what happens. So for abs, which will be the final exercise before I head to the sauna, going to do lying cable knee raises. So I have the cables attached to my feet and going to bring one knee up at a time. Really focusing on contracting the hip flexors, lower abs, and obliques. This is a really good exercise to target the lower abs. Like, I feel a really good contraction when I do this. And also, at the end of each rep, I'm kind of like relaxing my hips so that I can get a full stretch. Like, I don't know, at least personally, I notice as I come up, a lot of muscles in the lower ab area get tight, and then after I come down, they still kind of remain kind of stressed, and I take like a moment to relax them so that they go into the fully stretched position before I start the next rep. So yeah, that was my third set. Probably going to do one more set and then head to the sauna. That'll probably be it for today's video. Tomorrow is Jiu-Jitsu day, so no video tomorrow. See you all in the next one.